here's the historic jail of, I guess, what is this? Campbell County. Yeah, looks. For reference, that back there is the new jail. A little bit bigger, probably a little bit more secure. Here is the Rustburg United Methodist Church, who had just completed their services as we pulled up. I don't think we're going to be here long today. It's Rustburg. It ain't that big. Nice little town. Some people around here are probably freaking out as to why is this guy talking to himself. It's a pretty little church. Kind of fits with the timing of this town. Founded 1876. Some beautiful stained glass there. Not the biggest fan of these digital signs for churches. Get out there, do it by hand, misspellings and all. And you know you're in a rural place when it's early February and the snowflakes are still up on the lines. Don't have a lot of room to talk. All the banners are still on the poles in my town, so I guess it's a rural thing. Here's your rural cash cow right here. Damn ice machine. Don't cost you much to run it, but come summertime and fishing season, they'll be lined up. One thing I miss from where I used to live, Altadena raw milk. I think the state of California has pretty much killed that industry as they kill everything good. We're going to continue up here a little bit. Here's the old house, seen better days. Not going to point it out on camera because that's not how I roll. Most houses in downtown areas are getting converted over to businesses like everybody's favorite State Farm. Foley's Italian restaurant is open this Sunday because it is Super Bowl Sunday. Here we have Rustburg Middle School. Pretty big middle school for a town this size. But I imagine it takes a few people in from the county. This is a good sized complex for a middle school. Got outside basketball courts, baseball, softball field, and it looks like maybe a football, soccer field. This basically explains everything. This was the site of the old high school. I thought there was a high school here back in the day. It is now just the middle school. The elementary school is down the road just a little bit, just behind us. So it had some history here. So this is really my first time doing any video with my face, so excuse me. I'm a little bit camera shy. People have asked me why I do this, and I'm passionate about small towns. I'm passionate about rural Virginia. I'm passionate about rural anywhere. I've spent time in rural Czech Republic. I've spent time in rural Slovakia, rural Poland, and rural Lithuania, and a wee bit in semi-rural Denmark. Something about rural life that attracts me. I grew up in what was at the time the 6th largest city in the United States, also known as San Diego. My company moved me to the East Coast with all kinds of small rural towns to explore, which I'm doing, and I'm documenting to share with you. So I hope you enjoy what I'm doing here. And that's about it. My sadness, I see small towns, some of these are just boarded up and gone. There's one that keeps fighting back. It's a little town I've done stuff on before called Pamplin. It's not far from here. They have a fighting spirit. They continue to fight to keep the town running, and it seems that it's growing. They have their third restaurant, coffee shop, cafe opening in probably the next few months or so. We might stop by on this trip and check it out and see what the progress is on it. But that's why I do what I do. Thank you. We have the Rustburg Presbyterian Church here. I don't see any dates on the building. Looks like it's been around a while. Awfully noisy, lots of traffic around here. We are on the main drag, aka Main Street. I have a feeling that it's not is the Rustburg Presbyterian Church. I have a feeling it was the Rustburg Presbyterian Church. It's a Sunday. Is it noon yet? Yeah, it's this afternoon. And there ain't nobody here. It doesn't look like anybody's here. But it looks like they just paved the parking lot. So what's up with that? I think I figured out the mystery of the freshly paved parking lot. Behind what was Rustburg Presbyterian Church is now the Rustburg Volunteer Fire Department. And that's their firehouse right there. They got big doors on the sides, and they got fire trucks in there. So looking at the map, everything down this way and also this way seems to be all Campbell County facilities. That's the courthouse with the jail behind it. And then this is all social services, health department, maintenance, agricultural services, etc. What was once Finch's Tavern. I imagine that's where back in the day the judges and attorneys hung out. It's now an attorney's office. I doubt it's a tavern anymore. Looks too small and not fun. Cross the street really quick, there's traffic coming. Now I'm clear. This is the old Campbell County Courthouse, or the historic courthouse, which is now the Campbell County Museum at the historic courthouse. Okay, so I could read this to you, but I'm pretty sure you're capable of doing it yourself. 1780, county seat 1784. Public buildings constructed in 1783. The new courthouse, which is the old courthouse, was built in about 1848. Henry Fitch, that's the tavern we just talked about. It's now, I don't know, I don't see the Fountain Hotel. Just had a chat with my scout/driver telling me that there's all kinds of cool stuff back there in the back of the courthouse. We're going to walk up the steps here and see what it's like. Wow, that's a long way. Give you a quick idea of what it's like up here. As you can see, that's a long set of stairs. I gotta wonder how many people thought of jumping after they got told they were guilty and gonna spend 20 years in the slam. So let's see if I can make it down these stairs without falling on my ass. Made it. Courthouse was the courthouse from 1848 to 1962. I gotta imagine that's when the new courthouse over there was built and finished. And there's all the guys taking credit for it, even though Board of Supervisors probably just caused problems, as boards of supervisors usually do. Courthouse is a beautiful building. Mid 1800s when it was built. Pretty cool. I'm gonna guess that these have always been law offices adjacent to the courthouse. Probably not owned by the county originally, but maybe they were, because this Commissioner of Accounts, now I don't know if George Noley is an attorney or the Commissioner of Accounts. Here we change over to the newer part of the complex, which possibly is the 1960s part. Well, that says 1939 up there, so I'm thinking that was added on. And this is the old clerk of the court's office. Nothing fancy, just there to do clerky stuff. Got them highly secure wired windows. You got to keep the hoodlums out from changing their records. I don't know who Walter J. Haber was, but he was important enough that they named a building after him. And there we have the Campbell County Adult Detention Center. Not a place I'd like to go to, visit, hang out in, or anything else. And there would be the sheriff's office. Woohoo! Gotta wait till the car goes by, but here we have Silver Grove Baptist Church. That is one of the prettier churches I've seen recently, which is why we stopped. As I mentioned earlier, we were going to come down and take a picture of this, shoot some video of it. So here's a little bit closer, better view of a better view of Silver Grove Baptist Church, established in 1889. It's a beautiful little church. I like its dimensions. Got some nice stained glass up there. They did nice work on that. Got some signage here, right there, says established 1889, Reverend William Glover. Beautiful little church. Get a whole view of this whole thing here. Nice stained glass. Looks like it complements the main stained glass in the front of the church. This got to be their fellowship hall, pastor's office, and such. A lot of the cars in the parking lot, I got to imagine they're having probably some kind of deacons meeting or some kind of thing like that. Because there's still a dozen or so cars in the parking lot. And the service ended probably about half hour ago when I got stuck on behind all them cars on this crossing the street. So there we go. It's a pretty little church. Gonna shoot the stained glass from this side too. Might come out better this side without the glare from the sun and such. Like I said, pretty church. Special thanks today, whether they know it or not, to Rockton Mechanic for providing, Moto Rock? For providing parking, whether they're aware of it or not.